up at once, so they don't have come down and take out one tent and we're putting up a tent the next day. We want them to be able, if they're going to evict us, to evict the whole thing, and that would bring media attention. Now, speaking of media, we need to have a film crew with cameras to be our own media, because I'll tell you that the mainstream media is going to twist us around any way, they shape, or form, not in our best interest.
I have a point of order. A number of these issues that you're talking about now, how many tents to put up, film crew, media, these are all implementation and logistics issues, because with 19 people, I think, signed up for the direct action, that you may not have enough physical space inside the ring to set up more than 2 tents.
I mean, physical space here?
Physical space inside the ring of people, that if that's what you're planning on doing, having an arm-in-arm ring of people to protect the area where the tents are being set up, with only 19 people, you may not have room for more than 1 or 2 tents in the middle of that circle.
Yes. I'm sorry, did I not say that?
That's nice of you to be able to send it today. If you go to the Facebook page, I'm sure we'd get not necessarily a huge number, but there's probably more people that aren't here today that would definitely.
I think those points need to be tabled until the time is set and specific people are.
Let's not have a back and forth.
You have something logistically about that, but just in terms of this, I feel that it's vitally important that right now, we declare a date and then work everything else around that. Because we know what we want to do, and we know how we want to do it for the most part. We can work all the little stuff out later. We just need to set an exact, just a day. We can set the time even a little bit later. We can say that Tuesday we're doing this for the exact moment, and tomorrow we'll figure it out or something. But we do need to start figuring out just the very base at the second.
All right, so it was proposed. Was there anybody else on the stack? I'm sorry. Okay. So,
I would like to say something.
here, take.
I'd like to say that the date that we set, we should give a good amount of time between now and then. That's why I said that earlier, so that we can gather more people. Because like what happened last night at what was it, Cleveland?
Yeah.
It was Cleveland. They ran out of their permit. Their permit ran out, and out of nowhere, like 100 people showed up. Okay, and the reason that happened was because they knew that it was going to run out.
Yes.
I just want to say that between people that are worried about not enough time and that needs to be done ASAP, there is a fine, good medium in between, as in the middle of the week, and not, to tread on waiting all the way to next weekend. That doesn't have to be necessarily Monday, Tuesday, it could be Wednesday, Thursday, and that gives enough time to set up all the logistics of it and get all supplies ready and all that. Because I think a lot of concerns come from people that are like, this is going to go too fast, and that they want more, like, just to go well and fluid.
Kind of in response to that, I would say that honestly, what we've been doing for the last 2 weeks, I feel like everyone's been waiting for us to put up tents. Everyone has tents. Everyone wants to do this, and that's why I'm saying we can do it quickly, because most of the people here have been waiting to do this. We can put it off to Wednesday and Thursday. Those are totally legitimate. I think if that was either we decided we should do it. But I just feel like we are ready. We've been ready since we started the occupation. We've just been waiting for the group to decide on it. So that's why I'm in favor of doing it pretty quickly. That's also because the people, it's hard for everybody to stay overnight even for another night.
Okay, let me
Here's
throw
for you.
myself. Yeah, I saw him. Go ahead.
I'm just saying that some of us may actually have business that they have to conclude before they get thrown in jail. That's all. Like me, I've got work in the same.
Right. Well, let me throw myself in the stack for a second. Ideally, I think this would benefit our movement the best. I think Tent City is going up to 28th, you said? And that's on a Friday.
Yeah, sure.
I think if we can put our Tent City up on that same day, on Friday, then there's going to be lots of hoopla. And I think here's what we need. We need to give ourselves time to gather the resources, get all the people to get committed to come down here on Friday. And I would suggest Friday at 5:30. It doesn't get dark till about 7. We have a couple hours to put up tents. If we have enough people, we can have the tents up on Friday. We need to make a sign that says Occupy Toledo Tent City. My opinion. Call it also a tent city. It's going to be a tent city. And when they come down to take it, and if there's news here and we're filming it ourselves, they're going to be evicting another tent city while they're putting another tent city up. So I say Friday is a good day to put it up, and it gives us enough time to gather our resources. I have one tent that I can put to the cause. Yeah, I'm not sure who was first, so go ahead.
Basically, yeah, even if it is shitty weather, we're here to do something and we're here to suffer for what we're doing. So fuck it, to be honest. It's bad weather. So be it. We're going to be here. We're doing it. I mean, the purpose to put up the tents is to shelter us. That's just another reason. Second thing, doesn't matter if you're going to be in civil disobedience or not, or if there's not enough people to circle it. We need to have the tents here just to have the presence. We can have a group on the outside in the area where the police say don't be here. We'll put them there because the police are still going to have to deal with taking down the tents and doing everything anyway, so it doesn't matter if we just circle it. I mean, I understand the impact of having us protect it, but at the same time, there's still very strong impact of us just being there, going down for the cause if we need to be. Lastly, before I got to go, because I have to get to Occupy BG, this is my tent. Do with it what you want. So.
Well, may I suggest that you keep the tent, and if you're going to be part of the help that's setting it up, to actually,
you
or you take it.
Do you think you can be here for when we do it?
For tomorrow?
I don't know.
No.
Whenever.
Yeah. As soon as I could be here and be able to be arrested, if that does come down to it, which I think it will, but would be Thursday after about like 4 o'clock or so because I have the next few days off.
I'll just keep it in
But that's my own personal.
Let me put a proposal on the table. Who? Yes, go ahead, Scott.
I stepped up for a second. I came back and you said that they'd be kicking us out at the same time they'd be erecting tent city across the city.
No, nobody said that.
Oh, I misheard that. Never mind.
Yes.
I think that if it happened a day or two before Tent City, then it would, if we got the proper news coverage, we could get coverage then, say Wednesday or Thursday. Then we could actually be present at Tent City and make a little more, bring a little more light on the fact that people got rousted from tents 2 nights ago, and then that would bring more publicity to this movement instead of trying to do it the same. It might get, what we do might get lost in the Tent City event.
Actually, I have a direct response to that, and I see where you're going with that, but I'll tell you why I don't like that idea. Somebody else just said we need to be concerned about taking away, because what they're doing there is good, for homeless people. And if we show up there and we kind of take the limelight away from what they're doing, and it almost looks like we're crashing their party and taking away the limelight from them, and it looks like a confrontation, and we're not against the homeless or the unhoused and what's being done there. We're actually supportive of that. So if we were to kind of crash that party and, hey, look at us, we got evicted and it's all about us, it may look like a confrontation that we're crashing their party. Yes.
I want to talk to you before you leave. So just that. Direct response is to clarify facts, not to interject your own opinion into it. Just that's what it's for.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I just wanted to say the intent is what it's all about. If we show up to Tent City intending to support and show support and not make it all about us, our presence is really the important part. If we show up with the intent to take away, that's what's going to happen. People are going to construe and view any way they want. But if we set up a few days before, get evicted, and then just join the party, join the congregation with that Tent City, that's not necessarily, hey, look at us. That's, hey, we're part of Toledo and we want to support this. Like, that's more of a...
The homeless are, in one sense, the absolute worst trodden down of the 99. There's nothing in conflict between what's happening with the unhoused versus what's happening with us. As a matter of fact, I think that might make a fine backup plan as far as a way to have tents for 24-hour occupation. If they're allowing it there, you set up, what are they going to do, kick you out?
Well, my concern about that is not that we don't have a good intent. I think we do have good intent, and I think we are in solidarity with them, and even if we show up there, we would be in solidarity. My fear is that the media won't present it that way, and people may not take it that way when we show up. This is not, we don't control how it's presented, regardless of what our best intention is. So I think that also the other thing that wasn't mentioned is if they come and we resist, we're not just going to be just evicted. we're going to be probably arrested, and these are people that are arrested. If you're arrested, you're not going to be able to show up over there to say, I'm with you now. You're going to be getting booked down in jail and waiting to get bailed out. So I don't know how that is going to play out. We don't really know.
I think we're really here to decide a date to put up our tents. We've got to table this whole discussion. I think if we want to make a proposal, depending on the day that we choose for our tents, I think that's incredibly valid. There's a ton of GAs in between now and then, and that will be decided on by the majority. And this is not the majority, this is not the GA, and so there's definitely room for this other idea. I would just urge the people that, like you, if you want to get together, and other people, in a minute or two after we break up and talk seriously, come up with a real proposal that will convince people. The whole idea is to convince them it's a great idea. You know, if you have the majority vote.
Yes.
Yeah. Just real quick, and kind of going off that, I think we just need to keep in mind that we can erect tents on Monday or Tuesday, and then if we get torn down, a bunch of other businesses can come back and do it and erect tents here at the same time Tent City does. We don't necessarily have to be a part of Tent City. We can just do it, and we can say, well, they tore down that, but Tent City was okay. Why the difference? We don't necessarily have to go there and sort of co-opt it, as I think some people might interpret it. We can respectfully also erect tents on the same day that they erect Tent City as a way of showing solidarity with what they do, even if we've already been.
It's got to be another proposal.
So I made a proposal.
for another GA.
I made a proposal for Friday to do it on Friday, that same day that the Tent City is being erected over there. So
I have a suggestion. Why don't we go down the week? It was Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Let's start with Monday. We'll go to the days. If anybody blocks, we'll just go to the next day. Sound great? Okay, who's for Monday? Anybody is for Monday, actually. He stands aside. A lot of stand asides.
Wait.
Doesn't look like a majority. Do we agree this is really not a majority for Monday? A lot of stand asides. Does anyone want to block Monday? Who wants to block it? You want to block it? Okay. I think that's probably Monday's out of the question. Let's move on to Tuesday. Who's liking Tuesday? Do we think that's enough time? We got a block, 2 blocks. Okay, we're not liking Tuesday. Should we do Wednesday anyway? No, Wednesday was never put out there, but let's just say Wednesday for the hell of it. We're doing every day. Wednesday is actually okay with a few people, but looks like we got 1 block. Why don't we have you explain your block? Just like Wednesday anyway.
Honestly, you should not use that if you decide to person. I mean, unless, remember, this is only
You absolutely
case.
Friday
is a better day. This
than Wednesday. Let's put up the thumbs again for Wednesday and we'll count them. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 for Wednesday. Okay, let's put on the other days and we'll just figure out if one was better than the other. Thursday. Who likes Thursday? Said 6 for the other one. So far we've got 2 for Thursday. 2 for Thursday. Okay, so looks like Thursday sucks. Friday. Who likes Friday? Who's voting for Friday? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Friday.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Now, can we agree on a time? Friday at around 5. I mean, if you can make it at 5:30, just come at 5:30. But
yeah.
5. 2 hours before the General Assembly, so we can have it up.
Is there anybody blocking that can explain why they don't like 5? Why don't you like 5?
I like 9 o'clock better than 5.
But why?
But why? Yeah, what's really?
Did you say 9 o'clock?
Yeah, that's
Well,
like
there's
too
an
early.
interesting point of that. You're talking about 9 o'clock at night.
PM.
9 p.m. You're going to have people who are here from the General Assembly who are going to be willing to participate without any advance notice. It's right after a General Assembly. There is an interesting point there.
Can you take over facilitating or somebody?
I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean
You want to talk to
Yeah.
Bill?
Yeah.
I hand out my facilitation.
Uh-oh.
Anybody block this?
I have a response to that. The later you make it, yeah, you may get extra people for the assembly, but if you make it earlier, then you make the assembly last longer. You get more people earlier in the day, they're going to stay longer because you actually have an actual occupation.
Yeah.
Police probably aren't going to even notice the tents are up until probably after they're all set up. So it'll probably be until 9 o'clock that the actual response to the action occurs.
No, we got.
I think 5 o'clock is preferable personally, just because it gives us time to actually start taking care of setting things up. It will be a little bit time consuming. Hopefully by the time 2 hours pass, we'll be able to have the General Assembly. And I just like the idea of actually starting at daylight hours, when it's a little easier to assemble things rather than doing it later on in time when it's dark. It also means that I think some people are gonna go home later on in the evening because they're just tired. They can't stay overnight. If we started earlier, there's more people that can show up, and therefore we have a larger crowd to protect us if the police decide to stop it. That's why I vote for mine.
Plus, I don't think we should assume that the cops are going to be like, oh wow, they're putting up tents. I believe that they'll be monitoring. They have been monitoring our Facebook and webpage. That they will know that we're planning this ahead of time. I mean, we also probably should consider talking about them actually the possibility of shutting down our occupation before we have our day. If we announce on Monday that we're shutting down, that we're going to set up tents on Friday, I mean, we should just plan that. What do we do if they come Wednesday and say, okay, we're kicking out of park now?
Come back Thursday.
I'll go ahead. Still yield? Yes. Did anybody? I want to sort of respond and have a few thoughts about what Steve is bringing up. This is something I was actually worried about, specifically with us having this big assembly. Is I know Fred Lefevre was here at the beginning of it. By the time we got to the meat of it, he had actually abandoned us, which was nice. So we could, you know, some of the really serious parts of this actually got missed out on by Mr. Right-Wing Nutjob. So, you know, what he's talking about, every time I've tried to interject my opinion on this, I would like us to talk about this in the frame when we do the media part of this, and maybe we need a specific media crew just for this, just to make it simplified, and we get only the one message out, is that if we can frame this as an act of protest, some kind of protest that will draw everyone there, something that's going to get the maximum coverage and the maximum people. Something, I don't know, you know, since we voted Friday, we do have at least a day or two to maybe think about this. And, you know, we're supposed to try to have another meeting. And so maybe that next meeting is where we discuss and decide how we're going to frame this, not as a tent raising party, but as whatever it is. But we still want it to be serious enough, because the channels that we need to reach through our friends, the other people we know that are supporting us, that we think we need to actually convince all those people. I don't care if you're working, you need to be calling sick. I don't care if you had you were going to go to your aunt's birthday party. You're just going to have to wait for next year, send the present in the mail. I don't care if the school play is going on, you know, somebody drive your kid. Well, maybe not that, but if it's not your kid and you were going to go support your sister or brother's kid, maybe you need to skip that one. Maybe it was whatever the function or thing was, you know, we need to focus hardcore on this and how we're going to, like, present it to the world to get them to come here and, you know, get this maximum crowd.
I just wanted to say that I think he brings up a good point. We probably should not necessarily, I mean, this is a big question though. We can publicize on Facebook and maybe get some of the people that aren't normally at the General Assemblies, but I feel like it would be smarter if we could somehow do it word of mouth, if we could message people that we know personally have been involved, because there is a stronger possibility that if we announce it, that they could shut it down ahead of time because they see it coming, or that they could actually be ready when we start to buffer. So if there is a way, which I think there is, if people are willing to do it, I think we could just be, you know, messaging people. I know a lot of us have been talking and getting to know each other. I think that would be better. I would personally propose that we do not announce it publicly on Facebook or the website, and that we work strictly word of mouth. You can do private messages on Facebook, emails, meet people at the General Assemblies, reminding them, but as far as Facebook abstaining from it, I think it would be a good idea.
I think we definitely need to go out to the closest occupies to us and reach out and see if we can get some of them to come through. The more boots on the ground, the better. Okay. But we need to do it directly.
I just wanted to agree with Sean, because that was my first worry. That was like, if it gets out, then it's going to be a big, I mean, this is a whole week, you know. If we all use discretion to who we speak to and know who we speak to that can pass it on, because things like that get passed on like wildfire on internet. We don't need to do it on Facebook. We can do it, you know, messaging in private.
Yes. Probably need an administrator of the Facebook page to be on there, wipe anything out as soon as it comes up.
Mhm.
Someone's guaranteed to post it.
Yeah.
Whether we want it or not.
Right.
If not us, then that Lefevre guy or whatever the hell.
fever.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anybody else have any concerns
Yeah,
at this
just
point?